Hey, good morning. I'm late. Happy Wednesday. It's trash day. I have not put the trash to the curb yet. Got to do that. Little late this morning. I slept in later than I usually do. Ernie took forever to go potty. Ernie is still in this I want to eat rabbit shit phase of puppydom, which is frankly annoying. And then he wants to kiss us. I just ate rabbit poop. So he's but I have noticed if I sleep in a little bit like I did this morning, take him out at like 6:15, 6:30, he takes it's light out. He takes a little longer if it's dark, if it's 4:30, 5 o'clock, he shits and gets off the pot. I mean, he goes out there, does his business. I'm going back to bed. So maybe dad should get up a little earlier so we don't have this problem. Here I am. But I also, as I was laying in bed, thinking, shit, I need to get up. I'm going to be late for Hobby Evolution. I'm thinking, you know what? I worked late last night. We did a double live stream on Tuesday. We do our Tuesday night auctions. So I slept in a little bit. It's chilly out there. Woo, got that crisp fall air. I've got a few things to talk about. A little hodgepodgery, which I thought I made this word up. A lot of my ideas come from the shower. I'm taking a shower and I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? The eBay Open is today, but I've had eBay in the title like for 7 straight days. Not really, but kind of. However, when I put eBay in the title of my videos, I get like twice the amount of views, which is that's kind of what I want, but I really don't care. I just want to talk. I want to hear myself talk, and I don't care about views and subs, although like and subscribe. So I'm thinking about what am I going to name? It's like I could talk about the eBay Open. The eBay Opens today. It's like, we'll talk about it. I just signed up last night. Normally, I probably would have been just like, but something I saw something come across my Twitter feed yesterday that gave me pause, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sign up, and I'm gonna have it on in the background today. eBay Open starts today. You can sign up. Just go to the help. I can't even remember where I found it, but within eBay, go to the help menu, type in eBay Open registration, and I think it eventually takes you somewhere that you can click on, sign up, and boom, you're good. I think it starts at 2 o'clock Central Time this afternoon, I think. So anyway, we'll talk about eBay Open. So I'm like, what am I going to talk about? What's my topic today? And I'm like, eBay Open. And I'm like, We talked about eBay auction. We did eBay auctions last night. We talked about eBay auctions yesterday. We probably talked about eBay the day before. No more eBay in the title, at least for today. Maybe tomorrow. So I'm like, it's just going to be a bunch of hodgepodge. And I'm like, hodgepodge. I could just name it hodgepodge. And I'm like, what about the act of discussing hodgepodge? There's got to be a word for that. And I'm like, how about let me make up a word? Hodgepodgery. And I'm like, that's a fun word. And that sounds like a word that's not a word. Hodgepodgery. I looked it up. I Googled it. It is a word. And not only is it a word, it means exactly what I want it to mean. I don't have to make up a definition. Hodgepodgery. Now, some of you are probably like, well, no shit, that's a word. Duh. I didn't know. But I don't know a lot of things. Hodgepodgery. Where's the dictionary at? Dictionary definition. A confused mixture is the simple definition. That defines hobby evolution. Like if you look up hobby evolution in the dictionary, that's the definition. A confused mixture of things. Hodgepodge. Oh, that's hodgepodge. I think, here's hodgepodgery. Hodgepodgery. Miscellany. That's from the Wiktionary. Miscellany. Hodgepodgery. I thought there was an actual definition in the dictionary for hodgepodgery, but apparently not. hodgepodge, a bunch of hodgepodge. A hodgepodge is a confused or disorderly collection of things or a jumble or mess. That explains my life. That explains my office right now. That explains my card room. That explains hobby evolution. Hodgepodge, a confused mixture. Hodgepodgery. What else is going on? So that's about it. We did hobby evolution. We did hobby evolution yesterday in the morning. We did eBay auctions last night. Pretty much there were 3 auctions that disappointed. That I thought would do. And when I talk about disappointed, I think really the only true disappointment was the Michael Jordan lot, sold for I think 71 plus shipping, so 75 shipped. I was hoping that anything under 100 I was going to be disappointed with. So obviously I was disappointed. I was really hoping it would get closer to 125. That lot at a buy it now, if I would have lotted that up now, I had that stuff because I wanted to sell it all as singles. And I'm like, you know what? Michael Jordan's going to get the views. Let's just put a Michael Jordan lot. I hate lots at auction. And that's why. If I put that at a buy it now, I probably would have done 150 on that lot and then probably taken no less than 130 as a buy it now. So somebody got a great deal. So that was the biggest disappointment. Second disappointment was the national VIP pack, unopened pack from ProSet. At a buy it now, I would have put that at a buy it now for $20 or best offer. I was thinking at auction that might go for 10. It went for 90, or no, it went for $125, I think. Went for $125. And then the third was the lot of 87 Topps coins. Now, I didn't think that would go. I thought it would go for $3, $4, maybe $5, and I think it also went for $125. I thought it would go for more than $125, but there were cards that went for way higher. So overall, in the grand scheme of things, I think I still ended up ahead of my expectations. Like all the Star Wars and Garbage Pail Kids, that all went higher, way higher than I expected. The Jack Grealish, I think, went for $26. I thought that would go for $3 or $4. I don't know who Jack Grealish is. The Star Wars, I think one of the Star Wars went for 15, 20 or something. I thought those would go for like $2 or $3. What else went for higher? The first auction of the night was the Tom Brady Own the Game, which went for, I think, $10.50. That was something that I thought would go for $5, maybe $6, so a little higher. And then there were some others that went for, like 50 cents or $1 more. A few auctions I expected to go for 99 cents. I think only one auction didn't get a bid. I can't remember which auction that was, but I do remember one auction not getting a bid. And now I'm at the point where I expect every auction to get a bid at least to 99 cents. So I guess that's a disappointment if it doesn't sell. Oh, it was a Bobby Witt Jr. card. It was an insert, but I still thought for 99 cents plus the 99 cent shipping, or if you got in multiple auctions, you would get it, get that shipping, it'd be 99 cents. So I was surprised by that. So I may just hold that back. It's kind of late now to hold that back unless the Royals in the playoffs. But I don't think I have many Bobby Witt Juniors. I did auction off a lot of Bobby Witt Juniors Sunday night, and it actually went for a good price. I think it went for 25. It was a 35 card lot. So now I would have probably put that lot at $1 a card at a buy it now. I don't know if it would have sold for that though, for 35. It might have ended up selling for 25. So I was happy with that lot at auction. But as I do this, it's kind of there were some serial numbered, like I think a Ben Roethlisberger. That might have been a Sunday auction. That went for like $1.25, and it was serial number to 25. So there's some, even though it's just because it's serial number doesn't mean it's like a high value card. And that's kind of, I've got some cards in front of me, Donruss Champions 2005. And it's like, I think I'm just going to look these up and I'll probably put these at buy it now. I've got a bunch of them numbered to 50, Dimitri Young, Travis Hafner to 100. Certainly these are cards that I won't auction. They probably wouldn't get a bid. Is it just those two? I thought there were some bigger names. Maybe it's these. Oh, yeah. Chipper Jones, number to 250. Randy Johnson to 250 in an Expos uniform. So those I'll just put it by it now. So overall, I was really happy with auctions. Fun live stream, fun chat. We'll do it again next Tuesday. Auctions are live. Check it out, 99centcards.com. Already the Mark Jackson, and I should have been thinking about this because we actually started watching the Menendez brothers. I can't remember what the name of the show is. It's on Netflix. And I'm like, shit, why didn't I think of putting the Mark? I've got like 5 Mark Jackson cards just laying around. Like, I'll put these on eBay eventually because they sell. Like, fuck, this is like the perfect time because it's trending on Netflix right now. The Menendez brothers show. So I did throw one at auction last night. It's already at $4.25. So I was putting those, several months ago, I was putting those up for like $5. Now they would fly out of my store. I think now they're going for 15, 20. I've seen some go for. So 90 Hoops, Mark Jackson. So those auctions are live, 99centcards.com. Over in the Buy It Now section, buy 7 or more at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout. We've got the Tuesday night auctions rolling. We'll do a live stream next Tuesday as we do at 7 p.m. Central to count down the final seconds of each auction. I've got some more auctions that I'm going to roll out tomorrow night, Thursday night auctions, and this is Wisconsin sports specific. I've got Badgers stuff. I've got Packers stuff, Brewers stuff, Bucks stuff. Where's my scheduled? So again, these go live tomorrow night. I've only got 8 scheduled so far. I'll just show you this screen. Share the screen. You probably can't see that too well. So these are scheduled auctions so far. I've got a sealed set. This is probably one of those items that I shouldn't put at auction, but it's been sitting on a shelf forever, and I just I'll get around to it. It's a 1982 World Series Milwaukee Brewers set. Robin Yount on the front. I don't know how many cards are in the set from United Airlines. So that's going at auction. Again, these auctions start tomorrow night, 7:15 p.m. Central Time. Like I do. I've got a 2011 First Bowman Chrome Blue Refractor Auto of Hunter Morris in a Beckett slab. It's a Beckett grade 9.5. The auto gets a 10. I've got a 71-72 Topps basketball scoring leaders featuring Lou Alcindor as a Milwaukee Buck. I've got some jersey relics of Green Bay Packers, rookie threads relic of Robert Ferguson, player-worn jersey relic of Aaron Campman, and Panini certified fabric of the game jersey relic of Jonathan Franklin that actually spells out Packers. That's pretty cool. I've got a Brett Favre jersey retirement medal football card. And so far in 1992 Milwaukee Brewers game program with Robin Yount on the cover, it does include the Robin Yount baseball card still intact inside that magazine. So those are just a few of the items that will be listed tomorrow night. That'll go live tomorrow night in my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Let's see. We did have a eBay question here. Where was it? I thought I saw Flawed Thinker asked a question somewhere. Where's it at? Where did that go? I thought, it wasn't Flawed Thinker. It was that dude from Duryea. Did the wins outweigh the losses? Absolutely. Yes. So Even though there were three auctions that ended lower than anticipated, and the big loss was the Jordan lot. Overall, big win from the grand scheme of things. If I went down, my expectations were exceeded once again on my Tuesday night auctions. Even the Sunday night auctions exceeded my expectations, not as much as these last couple weeks of Tuesday auctions, which goes to show you I like Tuesday auctions better than Sunday. Let's go to the top of the chat. Let's say hello. Mikey's in the house. Good morning. Lewis is here. Good morning. Kevin Hawthorne's checking in from Lakeland, Florida. What's happening? Good morning, Philly Joe. Tracy's in the house. Good morning. Peter's here. Good morning. Kyle's in the house. Good morning. Been missing Hobby Evolution. My morning schedule has not allowed for listening the past few days. That is a bummer. We've missed you. Welcome back. Orlando's in the house. Good morning. Peter, good morning, dude. Mikey says, now imagine raising a husky that wakes up throughout the night to use the restroom and only barks at me, but no one else. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Fortunately, Ernie is sleeping through the night. And I've been getting him up to go potty in the morning. So that is the goal. Ernie is actually really good with me during the day. And Ernie is a nightmare for my wife. I don't know why that is. I think I know why. Because I think in the grand scheme, I think I pay more attention to him. But because it's not for lack of trying, my wife cannot multitask. She is like, which is good. Like, it's also like the focus, the insane focus is really good. Unless you have a puppy. And then you need to be like scatterbrained like me. Scatterbrained can be really good, like with a puppy. So, I'll be working in here. Now, the unfortunate part is I can't put Ernie in my shipping room because there's too much stuff on the floor, that's a Bo problem. That's a me issue, not an Ernie issue. So I have to really be strategic on my workday. When I'm Ernie free, I've got to get my shipping done because when I've got Ernie, I can't be in there. Now I could put him in his crate, but I don't. He's spoiled. I don't like putting him in his crate if I'm here. There's no reason, maybe to get some work done. But I'll be working here. Say I listed a whole bunch. I listed like 1,000 cards on collects yesterday. I think I was at like 400. I think 800 because I'm at about 1,200 listed on collects now. COLLX. Download the app and buy some cards for me on collects. Listed about a 800 to 1,000 cards yesterday in my collect store. So I'm just listing cards, and then Ernie, he'd be like chill. He'd be laying, sleeping, taking a little snooze. And then he'd get like antsy, like he wants to play. And so he's got you can see one of his little sheep toys back here. So I throw it and he goes and runs and chases. And then, after 5-10 minutes of playing, like he's good. Like he just needs to burn some of that energy. And I just don't think there's times, and I understand, like I'm selling baseball cards. My wife's selling homes. So there's a little bit of a difference in our day-to-day tasks. So oftentimes my wife is not able to just stop what she's doing and throw a toy around to the puppy. Where I'm selling baseball cards, I have that flexibility. Mikey gets no sleep because of my husky. That's no good. Huskies are beautiful. I love huskies. Good morning, Mr. Archer. What's happening? George is in the house. Good morning. Orlando says, stay safe, Kevin. Storm heading your way. Is that Hurricane Helene coming that way? David, good morning. Orioles finally clinched a playoff berth. So where are we at in the... Obviously, I'm not paying much attention to the baseball playoff situation because the Cubs they were mathematically eliminated a couple days ago, which they were basically eliminated a longer time ago than that. Let's see. So we've got the Yankees, Guardians, and Astros in the American League division leaders. Let's see. Wild card, we've got the Orioles. They've clinched. The Tigers and the Royals. The Twins are now 2 games out of the wild card with not many games left. Just probably what day is today? Today's Wednesday. So probably 4 games left. I can't do the math. What's 81 plus 76? That's 155. Is that right? No. 80 and 80 would be 160, 156, 157. So 5 games remaining. Over in the National League, we've got the Dodgers, Phillies, and Brewers. Wild card, Padres, Mets, Diamondbacks, but the Braves only a half game out of that wild card. So Diamondbacks and Braves. And the Braves and Mets are playing right now. So it's still tight on the wild card side of the National League. George says, my spam purchase is finally going to be refunded, and I bought some fish today. Very cool. Johnny Boy Cards in the house. Good morning. Zach says, how would you know big words like that? You are a collector, not a scholar. That is true. That is true. Orlando says, oddball is better than hodgepodge. Oddball, also a fun word. Sometimes I'll put in oddball because in baseball cards, what's an oddball? Oh, it's not like Topps, Donruss, Fleer, Upper Deck Score, talking 80s stuff. So sometimes I'll put like oddball card in my title on eBay. And it's not common, but it's not uncommon where I'll get messages like I've gotten a few, which is, more than I thought I would, asking, why is it oddball? What's an oddball? Why is it an oddball card? And it's like, okay, well, it's just kind of the thing. Oddball. Oddball is a fun word. Mark, good morning. Did you see the Padres clinched a playoff berth by turning a triple play? I just saw a clip of clinch with a triple play. I didn't see which team it was. Very cool. Dodgers are primed to get bounced in the first round. I predicted at the beginning of the season, the Dodgers will be eliminated. The Dodgers will not make the championship round. I can't remember what rounds. I don't know, but the Dodgers will not even make it to the NLCS. That was my prediction at the beginning of the year. And I'm going to stick to it. Tracy says the Royals finally break the losing streak, still holding on to a playoff spot. Very nice. I am rooting for the Royals. And not that I have anything against the Twins. I would prefer the Royals and Tigers over the Twins. In the Orioles, I think in the American League, the Orioles are the team I'm rooting for, just because they have a lot of youth, a lot of young players. So I'm going to root for the Royals. Fun to watch. Royals would be my second. Tigers would be my third. And then Yankees, Guardians, Astros. I hope they all lose. National League. Kind of the same wild card. The wild card teams is who I would prefer: Padres, Mets, Diamondbacks, and then Dodgers, Phillies, Brewers. I hope they lose. So there you go. That's who I'm rooting for. Dave Arnold's in the house representing the Spartans of Bushnell Prairie City, BPC. Tracy says, thank you for the cards last night. Added 2 more from your auctions. Thank you. I appreciate that. Check out the auctions this week. Shane's here. Don't auction lots. It's just guys like me bidding on them. That's right. I do, and I will still auction lots. I'm just going to be careful on which lots I'm going to auction. I have an overabundance, and I've got to be careful because I still think that I can do. There's some players that I'm just going to do buy it now because there's probably not going to be a bidding war over some player lots. But I think kind of, I'm learning like. Some of these Donruss champions, Chipper Jones number to 250. That's not something I'm going to auction off. That's something I'll put in a buy it now. So I'm learning, what to auction, what not to auction. Now, I've always said, don't auction lots. Why am I auctioning lots? The Jordan lot was something that it's like I want kind of a prime auction, something that's going to gather views and drive uh, drive people to my auctions, my store, whatever. So that's kind of the reasoning. The Kumar Rocker and Bobby Witt Jr. lots that I auctioned on Sunday night, those were because they were heavily duplicated. There were a lot of dupes in those lots. Like the Bobby Witt Jr., there were 35 cards, but like 20 of them or something like that were 2023 Bowman or 2024 Bowman. So that's something I can't lot up and sell as a lot. So I'll do an auction. And actually that exceeded my expectation. A lot actually at auction exceeded my expectations. So I was pretty happy. Now, I probably still would have put $1 a card on that Bobby Witt Jr. lot at buy it now price, so $35, but I don't think it would have sold for 35. I think, somebody probably would have offered me 20 or 25, depending on when it was, and I would have accepted that. And that's what it sold for after shipping, I think $25. Dan's in the house. What's going on? T206 kids here. Good morning. I'm waiting for the Mets to collapse again. The fat lady is warming up her vocals. I can't with this team anymore. Man, it must suck to be a Mets. Like, you Mets fans sound just like you're never happy. Although I'm a Cubs fan. So I get it. I get it. Cubs fans are the same way. Mark says, hey, Tracy, can the Royals do the Mets a solid by beating the Braves next series? Obviously, they can't do it themselves. There you go. John says, maybe there are too many Bobby Witt Jr. cards on the market. Just a thought. I don't think so. I think there's still demand is still outpacing supply on Bobby Witt Jr. And I think the lot auction kind of, played that out where, normally at a buy it now, I don't know if I would have got $25. I would have listed it for 35. If I would have got a $25 offer, I probably would have taken it. So I think there's still demand outpacing supply. Is Charlie with us? Charlie does the liquidity list, and I'm curious where Bobby Witt Jr. is at on sales on eBay. Mark Marinello says, Anthony, are we in a time warp back to the late 90s, early 2000s? Well, didn't the Mets go to the World Series at least once in that time frame? What year was the Subway Series? 2000? 2001? Carrie says, Pirates DFA'd Rowdy Tellez. He was 4 at-bats away from a $200,000 bonus. How pissed off would you be? Oh, my God. How pissed off would that make you? Oh. George says, I heard that Bobby Titt Jr. was at P. Diddy's freak-off. Jack Grealish continues to be the man. He was last night in my auctions. T206 kid says, at least you have 1986. I wasn't born until 87, so nothing but misery with the Mets. Tracy says they're going to need to win 1 or 2 of them, I'm afraid. They're playing so bad right now offensively. Witt is the only one hitting right now. Teams have started pitching around him. There's Charlie listing and shipping and coffee. Oh, my. We talked about that. The wins did outweigh the losses. Porter's in the house. The Menendez doc is pretty brutal. My wife and I turned it on last week. Watched the first episode, and I thought it was okay. Like, I'm not big into TV watching. We always have TV on, but I don't have the attention span to watch shows. So it's pretty rare for a show to like capture my attention. Red Light 34 is in the house. Good morning. John says, I need to list that Mandrich card. I'm pretty sure the Kyle Rittenhouse crowd will eat that up. Tony Mandrich. Mikey says his sales have been pretty slow lately. I am curious how everyone's doing with their sales. My sales have August last month. My sales were the best ever on eBay. Best sales month to date. And right now, my sales chart, I am 3% up, 3% higher than the previous 31 days. Now, that doesn't encompass, that's not a pure straight shot of month over month, but it's a good, it's a good pace. If I can end up 3% over the month of September, it's my best sales month to date. August would be second. A lot is a follow-up question. Can you do anything to drive sales on eBay besides bulk discounts and free shipping? Yeah, put good stuff up. and that's how are what is driving my sales? Good inventory. Now, auctions are also driving those sales because it's guaranteed money. Well, if they pay, whoever's bidding on Chuck Liddell not paying. This is like the third or fourth auction week it's been at auction. So put good liquid stuff up. That's number one. The best thing you can do to drive sales to your store is have good inventory, but that alone is not going to drive sales because you have to have them priced at market rate. If it's Bobby Witt Jr., that's super liquid, but if you've got it overpriced, it's not going to sell. So put good inventory up and put it at good prices, and you don't have to mess with all the intricacies of eBay. Now, other things to float, that's what is going to drive your higher end sales. And then what you have for, I've got 76 tops common, 78 tops common, stuff like that. It's more evergreen. But to drive attention to those sales, that's where you do your bulk discounts. Free shipping is an algorithm trigger. So that's going to boost you at the top of search. I always recommend free shipping on eBay because it does trigger higher search rank. Bulk discounts help if you're a volume seller. Now, if you only have 1,000 cards, 5,000 cards in your eBay store, 5,000 probably is enough to trigger those bulk discounts. But anywhere less than 1,000 or 2,000 listings, I wouldn't worry about bulk discounts. You got to have a volume. You have to have volume in your store to for people to take advantage of that. So those things are secondary. I think free shipping and bulk discounts are secondary. Number one, the most important thing to drive sales, list good stuff, list liquid inventory that people want. That's your number one. And number two is make sure it's 1A and 1B. 1B, make sure it's priced right so it moves. Easier said than done, but that's how you make the sales. Red Light 34, why did they split my order? I don't know. I did notice that. I don't know. Now, was your order, did you have over 40 cards? I haven't looked this morning at the orders, but I do know there's a cap at 40 items in a cart on eBay, which is weird. You would think that would be something, I'm not techie enough to know all that, but that could be why. Otherwise, I have no idea. Bazera Collectibles, good morning. Houston's in the house. Good morning. There you go. Promoted listings. That's another one. That'll boost you up. Get more eyeballs on your listings. But again, promoted listings, you got to have good stuff at good prices to trigger those sales. But it will bring more eyeballs if you do have, if you're promoted at 10%, and you have the same card at the same price as the next guy who's got it promoted at 2 or 3%, you're going to be top of mind. You're going to be top of mind on that search. eBay's going to boost yours higher than the other guy. Mikey says, I missed the eBay live stream last night, having a good time with the girlfriend. It was so much fun. All right, Mikey. Yeah, giggity. Mikey's promoting at 12%. There you go. I think that's a good number. That's where I'm at. Kevin's in the house. Good morning. Hearing you talk about Ernie is like hearing myself talk about my day with an 18-month toddler. Now, the good thing about Ernie is I can put Ernie in a crate upstairs and leave him alone for an hour. You probably can't put your toddler in a crate, walk away, or drive to the post office. Zach says, Mikey, I have an eye on a few of your football cards. There you go. Johnny M says, good morning. I did a Collects versus Ludex card identifying test. 20 same cards on each. Collects did not identify 10 of them at all, including a 2023 Bowman Chrome Ohtani. Ludex got 19 right. Collects deleted. Well, check out Michael. If you haven't deleted Collects, check out Collects. And I've got over 1,000 cards now listed. And you can buy cards for a lot cheaper in my Collect store than what I would list them at on eBay. So I've got a lot of 25-cent cards in Collects, vintage singles for 49 cents, some superstars and Hall of Famers at 99 cents. So I've done well selling on Collect so far. I went live on Friday or Saturday? I think Saturday. And where am I at? Let's see. I've got 50 sold, and I think I've got 1 or 2 offers that I'll likely accept. So not bad. 50 sales out of a little over 1,000 cards listed on Collect. COLLX. Download the app. Buy from my shop. I'll continue to add more stuff. It's different inventory than what's on eBay, but if I was given unlimited listings on eBay, I would list it on eBay. More eyeballs on eBay, but looking for a secondary platform, and Collects is so far so good. George says John Mangini doesn't like the term oddball. Mikey says, thank you, Zach and Porter. I really appreciate it. George says Orlando caused the outrage. Cooter, good morning. Had baseball size hail last night. Fortunately, went east of my house, so my homeowner's insurance will go up another 50%. Yet another reason to leave Oklahoma. And you have to deal with those door to door. Oh, you had hail in the area. We blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, get it out of here. That 70s card show's here. John says, I use the term oddball in my Tinder profile with tremendously positive results. Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. Great song. Luke Combs was correct. Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. Andy Mack says, fuck the Twins. I will never forgive Kent Herbeck pulling Ron Gant off first base. Bazera Collectibles in Houston says, go Astros. Zach says, why is oddball a poor term for a category of cards? May I please get the crib notes? I don't know. I think some people view oddball the same way others view junk wax as being a poor term. Some people don't like junk wax. Some people don't like oddball. I think it's probably in the same reasoning. Like oddball is a bad word. Junk is a bad word. So we don't like it to describe our baseball cards. That's my guess. George says, John over there with a 3-nut smut. George says, ask Orlando. I approve the use of the oddball term. If John Keating approves, it's good to go. It's gospel, baby. Mangini says oddball cards are just cards that someone doesn't know what they're called. That's actually kind of accurate. We call unlicensed card broders, but they're not actually broders. Broders are actual cards. They were unlicensed, but the photographers were they were brothers, I think, or father and son brothers. I think they were related. Broders, the Broder brothers, we'll call them. They had photographs. They made cards, unlicensed. And so now we just call everything Broder that's unlicensed from that era, where in fact most of them are not actually Broder cards. John says Mangini can lick my odd balls. Oh, kinky. All cards have a name like people, not oddballs. Cooter says, haven't you learned, Zach? Facts, slot, reason just don't matter anymore. Oddball is a poor category because people have to find something to make meaningless videos about. And Orlando laughs. Base set is a term. Inserts is a term. Oddball is a term. George has named his balls. Charlie says, sure am. New football list coming out at 8:30 today. All right. Check it out on JC3 Cards and Collectibles football liquidity list. John says 2001 Subway Series, 2001. I should know that because that was kind of a big deal, 2001. Orlando says describe. Cooter says, how did autocorrect come up with slot for and? Big guy thumbs on an iPhone. There you go. George wants to know if he should describe the balls. Bobby Witt Jr., number 4 in climbing on the baseball liquidity list. So there's still demand for Bobby Witt Jr. Unicorn Cupcake says oddball is a vague descriptor, like a one-off version for a mainstream item, in my opinion. Mikey says, I don't think the term oddball fits 21st century standards of appropriate terms. It discriminates against people. Completely joking. Okay. I'm like, really? Dat dude from Duryea says, I use oddball in eBay titles. There is a strong niche market, but they can be a pain when not standard cards. And then you get the people, why is this an oddball card? Is there something wrong with it? It's probably people that don't like the term fucking with us sellers that put oddball in the title. John says people love the term alt rock, probably the same people who are oddball deniers. Most alt rock is butt rock. Mark says they lost to the Yankees in 2000. The best part was my ex's family are all Yankees fans. The holiday dinners were brutal. John says, I thought the 2001 9/11 series was a Subway series. Baseball died in 94. Mark says the Cardinals beat the Braves in the NLDS in 2000. If we played the Braves in the NLCS, it would have been the Yanks Braves again. Orlando says more oddball discussion, a hot topic. Mikey said, would you like being called oddballs? Cardboard has feelings. John's been called worse. Orlando agrees with Mikey. George says, going to have to point Mangini to this chat. John says, in modern cards are too formulated and calculated to be called oddball. Isley's discs, for example, are oddball. Kem Toy Super Balls, oddball. Lance Armstrong, oddball. Uniball is indeed an oddball. Unicorn Cupcake says Jeff Wilson is an oddball investor. Just call oddballs as unique sets. John says no. Funny thing is, says Cooter, oddball cards sell great because collectors need them to fill their player or team collections. That's very true. I always look for oddballs in quarter boxes, food, team, regional. Absolutely. Absolutely. John says, let's call them what we call them, oddball sets. I like it. Mikey's finally going to give up the argument. He says, okay, John wins. Cooter says oddballs are also great trade bait on trading card database. Zach is playing catch up now. I feel like oddballs from eras are more rare than mainstream produced sets of cardboard. Arguing over names is as pointless as arguing over when vintage ends in 1987. I thought it was 1995, the end of vintage. Oddballs are great. Even balls are overrated. Keating, did you change your Tinder profile? I searched Jeep driver down to duck, and it says removed. Michael Renicke's in the house. Good morning. Bro balls. The Broder Bros were a couple of oddballs. Peter says, I look at oddball as a catch-all term for cards not issued by major licensed company. And that's what I think of. That's exactly what I think of. Hey, the eBay Open is today. There was something interesting that popped up on my Twitter feed yesterday. God, I always forget. Oh, perfect. It's right here. Liz Morton, value added RS. Let's bring this up. Bum, bada, bum, bum, bum. So I found this to be very interesting, intriguing. It also made me sign up for the eBay Open, which I believe starts this afternoon. Liz Morton at Value Added RS on Twitter says, rumors are swirling that eBay could be set to make a big announcement at eBay Open tomorrow, with some sellers reporting seeing a message in Seller Hub today indicating fee-free selling could be coming to the U.S. very soon. And then there's a link to the article. We can Share this tab. Let's see. Update. Sellers in the UK are also reporting seeing this pop up in their seller hub, adding to the confusion about what exactly it could mean. Is eBay going to launch fee-free selling in the US at eBay Open? Let's see. So eBay often releases a false seller update around the same time as eBay Open, and those updates typically impact all the various eBay sites. So it's entirely possible there could be something bigger brewing. Let's see. Rumors are swirling that eBay could be set to make a big announcement at their annual seller conference, which is today, with some sellers reporting seeing a very odd message in Seller Hub indicating fee-free selling could be coming to the US very soon. This one says it's now, so the image says it's now free to sell. You'll see things differently. Now you can sell for free. So, of course, this could mean many different things. YouTuber Justin Resells says he's been fielding reports from sellers who say this message popped up in Seller Hub today, but when they clicked the link, it apparently just went back to Seller Hub with no additional information provided. So here's what it looked like for those that received it. It's now free to sell. You'll see things differently. Now you can sell for free. Excludes more motors. Learn more. There you go. eBay has made similar moves in Germany across all categories and in the UK for clothing, with the important distinction in both countries that it only applies to private non-business sellers. So if that applied to the US, I would be shit out of luck because I'm a business seller. Let's see. This apparent premature launch in Seller Hub for US sellers is missing some context, but if it is real, there will likely be limiting factors, as well as including possibly being restricted to personal rather than business accounts. Only certain categories. The screenshot shows an exclusion for motors, certain order or dollar volume, or some combination of criteria. So, of course, Mercari did something similar, but just passed those fees on to buyers, which has not gone over well. So stay tuned for updates. eBay Open starts today. I did sign up because I'm curious what this all means. We can talk about it tomorrow morning. So who knows? I am holding off excitement. I mean, I don't think it's going to apply to me being a business seller on eBay. And it could be, who knows? It might not even be something what they've rolled out in Europe. It could be, maybe it's free listings, unlimited free listings. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think eBay wants that. So we'll see. Hopefully something is announced later today at the eBay Open. I will be tuned in. Let's see. Zach and Porter says fee-free selling is an oddball term. John says eBay buying collects. That's not happening. Kyle says selling oddball cards is tax-free, correct? Where's Low Roller Scratcher? G. John Sports, great day listening to Hobby Evolution on the beach in Panama City before hurricane heads this way. Be safe. Zach says Bo will be like Rory when LIV and PGA merged. He passed up all that money just to go back to where he started. Bitcoin is oddball currency. Cleaning your fingernails regularly is oddball behavior. That dude from Duryea says, is the C3PO erection card an oddball? That would be the entire package. Sorry, bad joke. George says, fair warning, Zach, cover your ears and Porter's ears for tomorrow's hobby drive. I say some choice words, and one starts with the letter C, which is apparently outlawed in America, but not Australia. Interesting. I knew a couple C words that you're not supposed to say. One that you're really not supposed to say. All right. So that's what I had for today. I've got some shipping. Porter's at school. Our goal is to have him move out of our home one day. One day. There you go. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, I've got eBay auctions that are live right now. Just started last night. Our Tuesday night auctions. We'll do a live stream starting at 7:15 p.m. Central next Tuesday night to count down the final hammer. This actually might be the best set of auctions I've had collectively. There's some nice cards in this week's Tuesday auctions. I'm also going to throw some Thursday night auctions live tomorrow night. They'll go live starting at 7:15 p.m. Central tomorrow night. And these will be Wisconsin-based. I've got a lot of Wisconsin stuff that I need to get out of my house. I don't want Packers stuff in here. I don't want Brewers stuff in here. So my loss, your gain. Auctions for Wisconsin teams going live tomorrow night. Badgers, Bucks, Brewers, Packers. So that stuff going live tomorrow night, 7:15 p.m. Central. eBay store is 99centcards.com. Over in the Buy It Now section, over 100,000 singles listed. Buy 7 or more cards at regular price, and you'll save 25% off at checkout, 99centcards.com. I've got more cards listed on the Collects app, COLLX. Download it now. Shop my Collect store. Over 1,000 singles and more being added daily in a lot cheaper. Most cards are a quarter, some 50-cent and dollar cards. It's basically like shopping my bargain boxes over on the Collects app, COLLX. Check it out. Subscribe. This Saturday is the Madison Card Show. This Saturday, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, 140 dealer tables. We've got the upstairs open, the Capitol Ballroom and the mezzanine. We've got the downstairs Williamson Ballroom. No longer will we have the State Street Ballroom or the TCG only room. So we've got 140 tables this Saturday. Show runs 9 to 3. Early birds are welcome. Free admission. Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, Madison Card Show this Saturday. Last couple chats. We've got John saying you get a 4.0 in college and still live at home in perpetuity, I'm told. George says, mine is the old one you're really not supposed to say. Aha, I know which one that one is. Courtesy of having multiple Aussie friends. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today. We'll do this again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. See you tomorrow.